we stand by the working people. If you were injured on the job and feel like no one has your back, we do. Give us a call. It's more to us. It's personal.
Over the summer, the Artistic Civic Theatre in Dalton was here to promote their production of Mary Poppins. A lot of fun. Well, they are back this morning and they have done a total 180. Now they are putting on Arthur Miller's The Crucible. If you never read that play, then listen closely. And if you did read the play and it was very impactful in your life, as it is for so many, then you know the drama and the feel of this show. So it's great to have Kate Sutherland back. This is Sabino Herrera, who's directing the show. Good to see you both.
Thank you so much for having us.
I mean, I guess the opening salvo should be that this is not a show for children, but if you have a high school student, chances are they're reading this right now.
Yes, we would not recommend this to young children, or at the very least with parental discretion, but it's an important story that people learn in high school and even into college, and so we definitely would recommend it to like a young audience in that way, maybe like 16 and up.
You know, we talk so much in the theatrical world about musical theater, and people forget about dramatic plays, and that's what this is. You said, Kate, you actually get a lot of requests for that type of a format.
We do. A lot of actors and actresses really want to challenge themselves with something like this, and we love straight plays. I think that it challenges actors and people learn so much through it. And you worry kind of about attention spans, and it's not as entertaining and kind of grab the audience as a musical, but it's really important, and it's really, once you kind of immerse yourself in it, it's amazing the talent and the lessons you learn from it.
Okay, Sabino, so let's talk. Here you are the director. I guess in all things art, it can sometimes be set in a certain time period, but the message is relevant at any point in history. So this is all about the power of an accusation.
Oh yeah. So it's a lesson that can stand the test of time. The Crucible itself stands as an allegory really for McCarthyism and just how misinformation can spread so easily, and the power that one person can hold can just corrupt a whole town, like absolutely. And it's a warning to everyone to, like, you know, listen to what you're hearing first before you go and do something.
Right.
And it delves deep into the human condition and what it truly means to, like, who are we as a people and what are we willing to do to get there? Yeah.
So, and there's, not to get too far into it, but depending on your life perspective, there are biblical truths in this too. So, I mean, I'm having to go back to my own 10th grade year. I read it once, and that was enough for me. This is a hard show, Kate.
Oh yes, I read it in the 10th grade. We watched the movie and then we read it, and we were talking about Arthur Miller the other day, and he writes a lot of things like this, like Death of a Salesman that I read in college. I hate Death of a Salesman.
Yeah.
But I was like, Arthur Miller, and he really does write very well about the human condition, but he writes some dark things.
Yeah.
But I think the lessons that we take away from it are really important, especially today. Even, you know, it was written in the 50s, so 70 years later, it's still super important.
So it's 1690s, Salem, Massachusetts.
Yes.
And it tells, so your character is who?
Francis Nurse.
And who, I've forgotten.
He is the husband of one of the accused.
Okay.
And he he goes into the court and he pleads for his wife, but he learns later on that her life is already signed away.
Well, wasn't that kind of it? Once you were accused, that was it anyway. That's all it took.
Oh, yes.
It was the whole bearing false witness thing.
Right. And there's a lot of talk in the script of, you know, if you're innocent, then you'll be okay through the court, but you see that that's not true, that justice at this time was not exactly fair or even justice at all.
Right. So, will I be giving it away? Will you be giving it away if I ask you why they want your wife to be accused?
I mean, it can be from anything. So specifically for Rebecca Nurse, it was specifically because she said some things about a girl, and that it really took her to heart, because there's like this whole affair between a husband and Abigail Williams, and she's the main accuser of everything. And she starts this whole hysteria, and she goes into this court, and she does all of this just for the love of a man who does not want anything to do with her anymore.
Wow. The theater itself is small.
It is. It's a smaller venue. We're doing this in our larger of our 2 venues, but still, it can only hold about 136 people.
I think that's going to be part of the power because you really are going to feel like you're a participant in this thing. And from what I'm remembering about the play, that's it. I mean, all these courtroom scenes that you're talking about and these trials that these people find themselves in, you're going to feel, I guess, like you're on that witness stand with them.
Definitely.
How big is the cast?
It's about 21 people.
Yeah, 21 people. Yeah.
Do you, I mean, this is always interesting to me because whatever you're doing, you kind of get a little bit desensitized to it. If you're a doctor, you get used to blood. If you're a lawyer, you get used to long hours, you know, whatever it is. So when you're on that stage rehearsing and you've done all this heavy stuff and then you say, okay, cut, do people end up laughing and going on their merry way, or do they kind of carry it with them as they walk out the door?
I would say that in rehearsals, from what I've seen, people, you know, they're having to learn lines in the style of speaking of the 1690s, so it's already difficult. And there's some good, when you have a small cast like this trying to do such a powerful story, there's good relationships that are formed between those people. So every time somebody messes up, we get a laugh, or they stop, and you take yourself out of the seriousness of it for a minute, and you laugh, and then you put yourself back into it. And I think that's really fun to watch.
I do want to say real quickly, I haven't told you when it opens. It's October 25th.
Yes.
Runs the weekends through November 2nd. You will have a showing, though, on Halloween night.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like each show is going to be its own as the audience responds?
Oh, I think definitely. I think every show is like that, and it's the energy of the actors feed off the energy from the audience and vice versa. Oh. And so we're excited to see the perception and the audience for this show.
Well, there are many things for which I'm grateful in my life, but I'm very grateful I was not born in the 1690s.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Here is where you can get your tickets, because there aren't a lot of seats, as you heard Kate mention. So go to Artistic Civic Theatre, RE.com.
Yes, ma'am.
There in Dalton. Grab some dinner before the show. Support those local businesses down there, and feel the power of what it is to be honest in your life. So thank you both.
Thank you
so much for having us.
Break a leg.
Here at J-HUD, we're all about choosing joy and shining a light on people who are making this world brighter.